Yeah, I really like writing, songs with celebrity names. Some people think it's weird. They're like, who is this girl writing songs with these celebrity names? But I think I know if I was on Spotify and I would see like a celebrity name as a song, I'd be like,
Awesome. Well, hello, Kayla. I'm Adam. Thank you so much again for doing this.
yeah, thank you so much for having me. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I love your posters behind
Thank
you.
you. I got a lot of them.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber. It's my favorite.
Yeah, you even wrote a song for him.
I know.
And the Wallows, signed Wallows
Yeah,
poster.
signed Wallows. I got this at like a pop-up event in LA. Billie Eilish, my first boyfriend, took me to her concert. So
Oh,
yeah,
amazing.
lots of memories on the walls.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate you doing this again. So you originally from LA, is that what I read?
I'm originally from Canada.
Oh, okay. Well, I got
Yeah.
my facts off. So what part of Canada?
I'm from Montreal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Born and raised there, obviously. How long were you in Montreal for?
I was in Montreal till I was about like 11 or 12. So I kind of did my childhood in Montreal and then kind of did my teen years in LA, and it was kind of a weird switch. Definitely
Yeah, I
like a
bet.
clock. Yeah.
Yeah. What was it like growing up in Montreal?
Cold. Cold, like kind of boring a little. I'm really happy I'm in LA now. There's so much to do, and I feel like I fit in more in LA. So I'm very happy and comfortable here.
That's good. I mean, Montreal still has a huge music scene.
It does. I just don't think I had the opportunity to like tap into that. I definitely got into music a lot more when I was in LA. So I'm honestly so down to go back in the summer, not the winter, and just kind of see what it's like there.
Mhm. That's cool. Well, how did you get into music? Do you come from a musical household? I did see your brother's musician and an actor as well.
Yeah.
Anyone else in your family a musician?
Yeah, I mean my dad, he was a drummer in like his teen rock band. And he was the one who introduced me to music at a really young age. He would just always show me like classic rock, Queen, Led Zeppelin, AC/DC at like 6 years old. And I was like, what is this? But it's sick. And yeah, he always made it a really big point to just tell me how important music is for the world. And he brought home a piano when I was 6. And I was like, I
Wow.
no idea what that is, but I will mess around with it. And I just kind of like fell in love with music since then. And my brother played piano too. He played guitar. I learned guitar. Yeah, I feel like I've been involved in the arts and music ever since I was like born, basically. It's all I know.
Wow. And your is your brother older or younger than you?
Yeah, he's older. He's older,
Okay.
like years older.
So were you guys playing piano at the same time? Or did he start a
Yeah,
little before you? Okay.
we were. There was a little competition going on, and I started writing music because of him. I was like 13 and I heard him write a song in his room and I was like, "Wait, I could write a song if I want to." I don't know why it like never dawned on me until that moment. I was like, "Wait, writing songs isn't just like for the Katy Perrys and Taylor Swift's of the world. Like everyone can write a song." And
Mhm.
then I started writing songs and he would write songs and like every week we'd have like a battle of songs, and it really helped my songwriting skills.
Wow, that's cool. So you guys would share songs with each other, and it was kind of like a more of a competition within the house as well as when it came to piano and now the songwriting.
Yeah, yeah. It was like friendly competition. We actually, a lot of people are like, why don't you guys write a song together? But we've just never gotten around to it.
Oh, really? I was gonna
Yeah,
ask that question. So
which is
yeah,
weird.
you never worked together on music.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we will one day. I don't know.
So you were 11 when you moved to Los Angeles?
Yeah, about 11.
What took you guys from Montreal to LA?
I mean, my brother and I acted when we were really young too. Like music, it was just kind of random. We were literally like watching iCarly and we were like, oh, like it would be fun to act. I was 6, my brother was 8. We really had no idea what it entailed. But I
Mhm.
think that like, I don't know, our family was just like drawn to everything creative, everything in the arts. And we were just flying back and forth a lot from Montreal to LA for like auditions, like chemistry reads, table reads, and stuff. And so we were just like eventually like, well, I guess it would make sense to move here. So we moved here.
Mhm.
And I'm
Okay.
so lucky to have like the most supportive parents ever who like will literally just pick up and go with us, which is insane. But they love it here too. So
Yeah, that's really awesome to have such
Yeah.
Parents like that. I mean, my family still doesn't know what the hell I do. They're like, "Wait, what?"
Really? That's with like my yeah, that's with my like extended family too. Like my aunts and uncles are like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I
Yeah.
don't really know."
That's cool to have that support though. I definitely respect it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So writing songs at 13, you were in LA at this time. Were you, I mean, aside from, was acting taking up a big chunk of your time? I know I just looking on your IMDb, you have a bunch of credits and you had a big audition for like Twilight and like all
Yeah,
these
when I was
crazy
like 6,
things.
it was crazy. That was
Yeah.
my first audition, which was
Ever?
insane. And my first audition ever was for Twilight for Renesmee. And I think it was like between me and Mackenzie who ended up getting the role, but it was just insane. And I mean, yeah, acting definitely took up a really big chunk of my childhood and everything like that. Sometimes it was a little hard because, I would have to miss going to like birthday parties and like all the fun stuff for like memorizing lines and being on set. I missed a lot of school but I think it really shaped me into the person that I am today and I wouldn't have it any other way. It definitely like helped me grow up faster and kind of develop skills that I would not have if I didn't. But yeah, I mean, definitely I feel like I've been working ever since I was a kid and it's been cool. It's been a ride. It definitely takes up a big chunk of time, but I love it, so it's like not really work.
Yeah, that's awesome. And with music, you said the first song you wrote is at 13 when you kind of heard your brother playing, you're like, "Oh, I can do this."
Yeah.
And then do you pursue it in a way of like when do you start like do you join a band? Are you playing with other people? Do you start putting out music shortly after that or that take years down the line?
Yeah, I mean, my first song I wrote was like really bad, and it was about a breakup, and I had never been in love or been in a relationship before. And I kind of just kept on writing and then sending my demos to producers and stuff like that. And then eventually I found this producer who really believed in me, and he was going to do everything for free, which was like absolutely insane.
Mhm.
And I kind of just from then on was just put in rooms with writers, producers, and just meeting the whole songwriting community. And yeah, I released Justin Bieber when I was 16. And that's kind of what helped things get going a little bit. The Belieber community really embraced it. And on, I've just been writing and releasing. I am totally going to release a lot more than I have out right now, though. So
That's
I'm really
cool. So yeah, so you just the Justin Bieber song, that was the first one that really kind of got people's attention?
Yeah, it definitely did. I mean, I think a lot of people were like, "Who is this girl singing about Justin Bieber with a cardboard cutout in her music video?" But um it definitely, yeah, the Believers really embraced it and it definitely was like the first one that got a lot of eyes on it, which was cool.
Yeah, and was that done just via the music video or online? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I wrote the song. Everyone I knew like just knows that, I was obsessed with Justin Bieber and on Valentine's Day my friend bought me like a life-size cardboard cutout of him. And I was like, okay, well now I like have to write a song about him and put him in my music video. um so yeah, I wrote Justin Bieber, Spotify, Apple Music, and then YouTube, and it just kind of like blew up from there.
wow, that's amazing. And you've got another, I mean, Megan Fox, another song about
Yeah, Megan Fox.
somebody
I
in the industry.
Yeah, I really like writing, songs with celebrity names. Some people think it's weird. They're like, who is this girl writing songs with these celebrity names? But I think I know if I was on Spotify and I would see like a celebrity name as a song, I'd be like, what is
Yeah,
that?
like what is this? Let me check this out.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did you decide on Megan Fox as your next person to write about as far as like a celebrity one?
I well, I was in a relationship at the time and I felt like I was being put up to like really impossible standards by him and I was like I need to write about this, but I don't want to make it basic. And I was like, who is someone who is just absolutely like drop dead gorgeous and like perfect? And I was like, Megan Fox. Like, this is amazing. So I kind of built that concept around her.
Okay. Um and with like your songwriting right now, you said you reached out to a producer originally. That's how you and this person wanted to do work with you, right, for free. And
Yeah.
how did you end up meeting that person? Was it were you just sending stuff online to people? Like, do you have like a
Yeah. I
SoundCloud or
doing like emails and stuff, which is crazy. And I mean, I can't believe he believed in me. I was like 13, and honestly, like the songs were not good, but I guess he saw something. So thank you.
Yeah, and then that led to meeting other people, and then eventually Justin Bieber, you said was the first song you ever released?
I had released like a
Or there were a couple
couple
other before
earlier,
that?
but those were taken down because they were pretty bad. It's a journey, guys. So it's a journey. Yeah, but it's just a ripple effect. Like really, the songwriting community in LA is it's like big but small at the same time. Like everyone knows everybody, and you kind of just meet someone and then meet someone else, and just all collaborating is just really fun. And getting to know everyone is amazing.
Mhm. And have you been doing any, like, shows, or, like, was that something you were interested in young, like, in when you started writing songs, like, playing for people or playing different places around LA?
Yeah, I haven't really played shows yet, which is interesting. I always said I wanted to release more music and just kind of really feel 1,000% positive in my sound, and I feel like I'm finally there, and I finally just feel really good about where I'm at and all the demos that I have that I'm gonna release, and I think that it's like finally time to start playing shows. So I'm like excited slash nervous a little bit just because I've never done it. But top of the new year, all of the next year, I'm definitely gonna play shows.
Okay, very cool. And with you released Justin Bieber in 2020, was that a song that you had put in, like, the video and everything, was that done, like, around the pandemic time, or was like, tell me about when that kinda started?
Yeah, I guess it was during the pandemic. Oh my God, I like completely forgot about that. Yeah, it was kind of it was wild. I mean, set in general was I also filmed Love Victor during the pandemic, and it was so weird because everyone had like three masks on and like visors, and I like couldn't see anyone or hear anyone, and it was so like impersonal. And with shooting the music video for Justin Bieber too, it was definitely a weird thing to adjust to. I mean, everyone's so happy that it's not a thing anymore, thank God. But
Right,
yeah, it
yeah.
was weird.
I mean, I remember talking to people during that, like, that could work, whether it be television or movies or music or whatever, like, yeah, to get, like, a COVID test, like, 3 times a week,
Oh
and
my God, yeah, that was horrible. Did you ever get the test that, like, went all the way up your nose?
oh, yeah, it's brutal.
That hurt so bad. I was not expecting it to hurt so bad. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm not ready for this."
Oh, wow. And you're doing the television stuff, and or you're working on those shows and the movies, and doing that all while still writing music and putting that out as well?
Yeah, and it's definitely they're definitely, like they're similar but really different, like, with they both have the key of, like, vulnerability and just, like, opening yourself up to the world, but acting is more like you kind of fall into a role and you're just you connect with that role and then you are the role, whereas, like, music, it's a lot I think it's a little scarier because you're really just putting your honest self out into the world, but they're both really cool for their different ways.
Yeah, I feel like, obviously with acting, you're taking on someone else's script, and you have to
Mm,
become this person that a writer has created, right? In a
yeah.
sense where with your music, you get to just be totally free and write whatever, kind of comes to mind.
Yeah, which is scary, but awesome. You're like literally just putting yourself out. You're like, "Hey guys, hope you like me."
Right.
Yeah, hope you like my music.
Your first song of this year was Jumping the Gun. Tell me about that one.
Yeah, jumping the gun. I met this guy at this like Hollywood premiere for Scream, and I literally met him for like 2 seconds. He was like at the end of the photo booth line, and I was like, "Is this the line for the photo booth?" He was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "What's your name?" And like I got his name, we exchanged names, and I didn't see him for the rest of the night. And I would just like could not stop thinking about him, and I was like, "Oh my God, he's my soulmate! Like he's so cute." And, I was like, "Why do I always jump the gun? Like, why do I always meet someone for, like, 2 seconds and then am like, wow, like, I need to know more about them?" So the next time I was in the studio, I was just venting, and I was like, "I always jump the gun, and, like, why do I do this?" And they were like, "Hold up, there's, like, something here." So we wrote "Jumping the Gun," and it just all came together so quick, and I knew, like, from the day I wrote it, I was like, "I definitely need to release this because I need to get this out there, this part of me out there."
Yeah. And you have the new one that literally just came out, right?
Yeah,
It
date
came out
myself.
today. Did it come out today? I
No,
think,
it came out
or
last
no, or
Wednesday.
last week. Last week. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Um, oh, the 11th, I believe, right? Or no, I don't know.
yeah, October
But
11th. Got it.
my days are so off. I'm
No,
sorry.
me too. I don't really know
Um,
what it is right now.
uh, and it's Date Myself. I watched the video, which is awesome. Tell me about that song. Where'd you come up with the concept and everything?
Yeah, I mean, I get most of my concepts from like conversations, honestly. Like I have all these thoughts and feelings and I never really understand them until I'm like talking to someone and it just like blurts out of me and I'm like, "Wait, that's what I'm feeling." And
Mm.
I was talking to my mom. I was just venting again. I was like, "Mom, I keep on going on like really bad dates. Like this sucks. Like at this point I kind of just want to date myself." And then there was like a little ding in my brain and I was like, "Wait, that's such a cool song concept." So I just wrote it in my notes and then again, next time I was in the studio, I was like, we need to write about this. I have like this giant notes page that is like hours long of just a bunch of song ideas, titles. A lot of them are bad, but they're just there in case I need them. And yeah, Date Myself was born. And I always show my friends on my demos, and they're like, Kayla, this is it. Like, this is amazing. Like, I can relate to this so much. And I was like, yes, that's like the best thing to hear as a songwriter that people can relate to what you write. So then it was released.
Wow. So when it comes to the demos, is that something that you would have after you were like, do you sit down and write like a really skeleton version of the song before you go into the studio, or do you kind of just bring the idea in? Like, how do you put your songs together?
I definitely do a mixture of both. Sometimes I'll just be in my room and I write a song and then I bring it into the studio and we work on it. Sometimes I just like kind of want to start fresh from scratch the day of. And the demos, sometimes I honestly like I love the demo and I'm just like I don't want it to change. Like there's some sort of like magic about first day demos.
Mhm.
Obviously that's not the case with every song. You like can't get lucky like that with every song. Like Date Myself, I definitely think we worked on it a lot more after the demo. And I'm glad we did because it got to a place where I really loved it. I'm always like, I will never release something that I don't 1,000% love because then it's so hard to promote it and just talk about it because you're not like 1,000% in it.
Right. Yeah. If you don't like it, no one else is gonna believe that
Yeah,
they
it's
should.
horrible.
You know what I mean?
Horrible.
I find that interesting. I've spoke with a lot of artists that talk about that kind of capturing that like first, take, or that like magic that you can't kind of reproduce, and in certain songs they're like having this version like, okay, I'm not changing this. Or
Yeah.
and a lot of during the pandemic where people would write a song, or they'd go in their closet with some USB mic and record something because you couldn't go to the studio, and then it was like, all right, now let's go to the studio to record the
Mhm.
actual version, and like the vocal wasn't there. Just like having that same, like recreating the same passion sometimes
You
is
can
difficult.
never recreate like the magic of the first day you write the song. There's just something in the air that just makes everything so amazing. And I actually, oh my God, I'm like such a big believer in not re-recording your vocals, unless like your first day vocals are like trash and you need to. But I actually recorded Date Myself when I was like just getting over a cold and I was like kind of sick still. And I was like, I just love the vocals and I literally just kept like my sick vocals.
Oh, I could not have to go back and re-listen to see if I can hear
Yeah, it was
that.
it's weird, like, my team gets kind of upset at me for that a lot. They're like, "You need to be okay with, like, re-recording your vocals." And I read an article that, Adele does the same thing. She uses her demo vocals. There's just, like, something in the air. It's so hard to recreate that, like, magic of the first day.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you sing this song or the chorus or whatever like 100 times, like at that point, it's just like almost like a repetitive, like you
Yeah,
almost are like losing something with that kind of
yeah, it's
first.
memorized in, like, this way, and you, like, can't be raw and, like, real with it anymore.
Right. Like it's be harder to kind of change up what you're doing.
Yeah, see, you get it, you get it.
Well, yeah, I think that's cool. And I've heard it a bunch of times. People say that, like, yeah, I'd recorded this thing in my, like, the version you hear on the album that has X million plays is the one that I recorded in my closet because I
Mhm.
took it to the studio and I couldn't reproduce it. But
Yeah,
um
crazy.
so with your, I mean, Date Myself is the new one you just put out, but you said you had other songs or a bunch of stuff ready to come out. Like, what is the future look like here?
Yeah, I mean, I have so many songs just living in my computer and my phone, and I'm like, one day they will see the light of day. But I'm gonna release an acoustic version of Date Myself very soon, which I'm really excited about. It definitely shows like a very different side of the song. It's a little sadder. And then at the top of the new year, I'm just gonna release a single every month, basically. So I'm really
Wow.
excited to just roll it out with that.
That's really cool. And are you still acting at all, or are you mainly focusing on the music?
Yeah, I am. There's unfortunately a strike right now, so
Oh
it's
yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot that's still
yeah,
happening.
yeah. There was the writer's strike, and then actors went on strike, and
Yeah,
writer's strike is resolved, but we're still fighting. So, little break from acting right now. So definitely focused on the music. But once the strike is over, I'm definitely gonna do both still.
very cool. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for doing this, Kayla.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so fun.
I have one more question before I let you go, if that's cool.
Yes,
I want
I'm
to
ready.
know if you have any advice for aspiring artists.
Oh yeah, totally. um, I feel like everyone's journey is so different as an artist, and it's really, really, really easy to compare yourself to everyone. And I think it's hard to compare like someone's chapter 40 to your chapter 1. Everyone's journey is so different. And like I'm guilty to doing this. I still do it sometimes and try to like sap myself out of it, but definitely just like try not to compare yourself to other people's journeys. It's so different for everyone and everything happens for a reason, and just trust in the universe, really.
Bringing it backward.